Welcome to Hoppers Physio. Today we're going to talk about the ViMove technology in enabling us to assess an athlete as to whether they're ready to return to sport. It's also a great way of testing whether or not players or even a person is ready to go back to their normal way of life and days of activity. The problem is with a lot of our current assessment modalities, we don't really have a really good objective measure as to whether the legs, in this case, are symmetrical. And so this is a great way of us being able to ascertain that we've got symmetry with the legs, that they're putting the right amount of weight through it, and also that their core is doing the right thing. So what we've got here, we've got specimen A, we've got young Brody. These are the electrodes that we effectively use. They're small electrodes, and they get placed on either side of his lower leg, and we place also two, just turn around for me, right, thank you. And we also place two on his lower back and lumbar spine. So effectively we look at a whole series of exercises that involve planking, squatting, jumping, and also acceleration and deceleration. And we look at control of his core, his pelvic control, and also whether we're losing further control down the leg and the leg starting to turn inwards or outwards accordingly. And that gives us valuable information as to what we need to do for Brody's program in order for us to rectify his problem and allow him to become more symmetrical between his non-dominant and dominant side, or between his uninjured or unoperated and operated side. So a very effective tool. We then go through a whole series of on the program itself, and it shows us all these great things in terms of his planking ability, his ability to squat, lunge and hop, and also his running ability as well. And this asymmetry will allow us to, like we said, devise that program that we can, that in order for him to be able to, maximize his exercise program. And you can see we've got three types of lights here. We've got green lights, which are fantastic. We don't have to really address those problems. Amber is acceptable, but the red zones are not acceptable. So that already tells us exactly what we need to do in order for us to be able to assess where he's at. And then when we look in a bit more detail, we can see what happens with Brody with regards to each time he hops and jumps and where he's going in terms of where he's losing it more. In his case, he's losing it more around the pelvis and also a bit more around about that lower leg. So we already know the exercises that we have to do moving forward. So it's a great way of us objectively measuring where the athlete needs to be and where the athlete needs to go in order to not only correct the underlying issue, but also to prevent injuries moving forward.